Lawyers have welcomed what could be the biggest ever overhaul of South Australia's criminal justice system. The reforms will include measures to speed up the court process, ease prison overcrowding and deal with more minor offences with just fines. But they say it won't work without more funding for legal aid.
It's verdict day for the justice sector, and the government has found it guilty of a range of inefficiencies. The sentence a systematic reform of policing, prisons, courts and everything in between.
This is probably the first of its kind in this country in terms of the breadth and scope of the project.
A white paper released today suggests ways of addressing overcrowded prisons, a lack of transparency and court delays, which are much worse in South Australia than interstate. The proposals include bail hostels that accommodate alleged offenders, fines rather than court proceedings for minor offences, incentives to fast-track trials and bringing the court into the 21st century with electronic systems.
It's a very complex task and all of the agencies need to be involved and they all need to cooperate.
We're concerned that any reform driven by prison overcrowding could well undermine community safety. It's totally unacceptable that the government's failure to manage prisons may well mean that people who should be in prison may walk free.
I think it's being overly simplistic to say that somehow this is going to put the community at risk.
The South Australian Bar Association has welcomed the discussion paper but says any reform must include more funding for legal aid to provide justice to both alleged offenders and victims.
Legal aid has been underfunded by successive governments of all persuasions over far too many years.
Some of the changes could be introduced within 6 months. Kim Robertson, 9 News.